Through 3 games of the season, rookie Cedric Coward has not just been a pleasant surprise for the Memphis Grizzlies. He's been one of the most impactful and efficient players in the NBA. Coming off the bench for Coach Tomáš Iisalo, who has taken over as full-time head coach after taking over late last year as intern head coach after they moved on from Taylor Jenkins, the Memphis Grizzlies. So let's talk about how Cedric Coward seems to be this hyper-efficient spark plug that, if you guys were following me, I was always a big fan of his and just felt like he was going to be someone who's going to be able to contribute in a way that, yeah, they lost Desmond Bane, but the committee approach that they're doing with Contavious Caldwell-Pope and Cedric Coward and Jalen Wells and even Cam Spencer, it's been amazing. I mean, so far, Cedric Coward, I know it's like 2 games, 3 games, whatever it may be, he's making over 7 out of every shot he takes. Yeah, 70% field goal percentage. He's hitting 3-pointers, obviously, at an unsustainable rate, but like 8 of 11 through 3 games. And I think something that we're just saying is, despite coming off the bench and making 7th on the team in minutes played, about 23 a night, Coward is the team's second leading scorer, trailing only Ja Morant with 19 points per game, Ja averaging 22. And he's been able to provide a scoring punch to a second unit that desperately needs it, allowing Coach Iisalo to maintain or extend leads when the starters rest. His ability to score from anywhere at the rim, from 3, and at the free throw line makes him this versatile and unpredictable weapon potentially throughout the season. And I think Coward's role is perfect for this team, as he can play with the stars or he can play off the bench. He just doesn't need the ball in his hand to be effective, which is ideal when playing with a ball-dominant superstar like Ja Morant. Cedric Coward excels as a catch-and-shoot or a cut-and-finish player. His gravity as a shooter, defenders must respect his shot, opens up driving lanes for Morant and others. He's not a high-usage player who disrupts the offense. Instead, he capitalizes on the opportunities created by others with his ruthless efficiency, it seems. And he's someone who's also grabbing rebounds, almost 4 a night, dishing the ball, like 2.5 assists. Like, he's playmaking and rebounding. He's also a decent defender at the point of attack. I know the team right now hasn't been incredible defensively, but 2 steals a night, and he's active and he's trying to help out there. And he's someone that, look, he was really helpful in the Indiana win, and then also in the win against the Pelicans, and even in their loss to the Heat, he's still one of the better players in that game. So to me, when we're looking at Cedric Coward, who I don't think he's merely earned a spot in Tomáš Iisalo's rotation, but I think he's establishing himself as this spark plug. And will that continue operating as a bench wing whose role will be to come in as a low usage 3-and-D scoring option who can be a net positive for the team and be a key driver in their success? For me, I think this is a team that obviously currently it's early in the season, but they're middle of the road in terms of their field goal percentage, and having a 3-and-D wing who's got great cutting instincts. Coward is the perfect off-ball complement to a player like Ja that we talked about earlier, and not needing the ball in his hands to be effective and thriving as a backdoor cutter or catch-and-shoot shooter. He's going to be someone who's going to continue to make the floor look easy for them. And to me, his ability to generate points quickly without needing plays called for him is going to be something that Coach Iisalo is going to think is invaluable to maintain offensive pressure whenever the starters rest or when maybe the starters are being hunted. And I think the other thing is that he's scoring at this level without turning the ball over. And for a rookie who's played significant minutes, especially through the first 3 games, he's had this level of poise, smart decision-making that is rare. And it means every possession he's involved in seemingly ends with a high percentage shot or a pass to a teammate, never a giveaway. Then on defense, the Grizzlies are a team that, for their time under Taylor Jenkins, they were really good defensively. And right now with Iisalo, and with the change in the roster, their defense is a little different. And I think Cedric Coward can be a bright spot there. And we talked about that as a prospect. He was someone who showed the ability to have active hands and good anticipation in the passing lanes. And as a wing, his size with a 7-foot plus wingspan and activity on the defensive end to switch and guard 1 through 3 is crucial. And I think he's going to be able to offset some of the defensive struggles that you have when you have someone small like Ja Morant on the floor and help Jaren Jackson Jr. and Zach Edey anchor the defense throughout the season. So I think right now we're seeing Cedric Coward be someone who comes in and meshes well with both the starters and the bench unit. So to me, I think Cedric Coward has seamlessly integrated into Tomáš Iisalo's system as the prototype, modern, efficient role player that fills a critical need for the Grizzlies. He seems to be this low usage, efficient wing who's going to excel without the ball, play with energy, and make zero negative plays for the most part. Obviously, there's going to be some statistical regression that is expected over an 82-game season. His start is not a fluke. I think it's showing that he's going to establish himself as an indispensable part of the rotation. He's a perfect fit as his skill set, elite shooting, smart cutting, active defense, amplify what Tomáš Iisalo needs. And for a team looking to solidify its place in the Western Conference after the final 2 seasons haven't produced the results that they wanted, I think Cedric Coward emerging as a reliable and impactful bench option could potentially be a game changer for the Memphis Grizzlies. So that's where I want to hear your guys' thoughts. What are your guys' expectations for Mr. Cedric Coward? And are you guys on the same page as me? Like, I really do think that this is a guy who could potentially have a bigger part in the Grizzlies' success. And I mean, if you look at the depth chart currently, Santi Aldama obviously hasn't performed like we were expecting. I know GG and I feel like if you were watching the Grizzlies this year, you're expecting certain guys to be performing more or having a bigger impact than they've had. And for example, like in this game against Indiana, I would say with a starting lineup of Contavious Caldwell-Pope, Jalen Wells, Ja Morant. Jalen Wells had a really shit game. Jaren Jackson Jr. and Ja Morant did their thing, but off the bench, it's been Javon Small and Cedric Coward. Like, Santi was someone that was thought was going to have a bigger or more impactful year, but has not happened. So let me hear your thoughts if you guys made it to the end.